The whole conversation is around this whole Love Island, yeah. And I think the backdrop to this is what was it? This girl's called what?
Yewande.
Yewande, yeah. So this Yewande girl is on Love Island. And what's her preference? What did she say her preference?
I don't know what preference is. I can't speak on that.
That's why I need to understand that.
I'm speaking about the girl last year.
What did she say?
Yewande, she's from Love Island. Her preference is that she loves white boys because obviously there's not a lot of options in Ireland. Okay. And she's only had one sex, and she's very attractive actually. Well,
I disagree. I don't think she's that.
Well,
okay. No, that's fine. Just hold that thought. So in regards to last episode, the last time, the last season, what was this black girl then? What was the story?
Who? Oh, the girl Samira from last year. Yeah. She said she was into guys, blonde hair, blue eyes. Yeah, that was her preference.
She literally said.
And I just didn't necessarily like that because I felt like that's a girl who's representing us in the sense of, or she's representing the black community in terms of, and her preference, and for me, she just had no attraction at all to her own race. And I just didn't understand or get that. I didn't understand where that came from. More so because she was a girl that grew up in London. I don't know what area she grew up in, so I can't speak on that. But from my perspective, she grew up in London, so I'm pretty sure she's interacted with black people, and she's black, so she's grown up within a black family.
Maybe she's had a bad experience with a black guy.
Maybe, but
it's the way she just put it. It's just the way she put it.
I didn't understand it, and in fact, she left. You know what? Yeah, she left the house when her boyfriend, some white guy got evicted, and she left the house for him. Yeah, and he was going off and lipsing up some other girl. Yeah. I know that has nothing to do with race, but it was disheartening to.
She looked like a MBW. A Nubian bed wench.
Nah, man. I'm telling you, she left the house. For some white, and I was like, nah, man. I just didn't agree with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't happy about that.
But look, this is the stuff in it. I guess personally, I think the whole Love Island, the way it's set up, right? People wanting this whole idea of equal representation, I don't think it should ever work or is ever going to work. Because Love Island is watched by how many people? And we look at the black people, even if you're looking at population-wise and the percentage of black people in the UK,
it's minimal.
It most probably is minimal. It's most probably what's being represented anyway. So for me, anyone that goes into that show should expect that they're going to see more white people than black people. You should not necessarily go on that show to expect to see 4 black girls and 4 white girls for you to have a choice. I think
there should, and that's what my thing is.
Because it's not a London show. If it's a London show, then it should even have more multicultural. It should be more multicultural in regards to Asian or
they do have it.
Any other
they
race.
Do have multicultural.
No, what I'm saying is,
yes, they do.
No, really, no. How's it multicultural?
Yeah, at this moment right now.
Nah, generally it's like they've added it.
The ratio does not represent London. It's basically what I'm trying to say.
Not London,
the ratio should represent UK. Yeah. And I think whatever you guys are talking about from that respect, I believe it represents UK. And I don't feel like any black person should feel any aggrieved about seeing any other thing on Love Island, because I feel like that's what.
I don't like the representation. I almost feel like it's a token black person on the show, but at the same time they're almost yearning after these.
Yeah, but the real black person is not going to go on that show.
I don't agree. I don't like that representation.
So do you think a black person should go on Love Island?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said the real black person.
But what's the real black person? What's the real black person?
Yeah. So I'll start again.
Yeah.
Do you think a black person should go on Love Island?
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
Well, it's just we have a different culture. There's a different.
It shows. Well, no, you finish.
Well, for me personally, a black person can and should go to Love Island because we can represent different. We can relate to different things.
Okay, all right. So let me just before you add that to it, yeah. In regards to giving this context, right? And please, you guys join in because you watch this show more than I do, right? So in regards to Love Island, what's the main aim? Is to find love. Yeah. Right?
Find love and then win the 50,000K.
Okay, it's to find love, right? Yeah. So I'll repeat that question, right? Do you think a black person should go into Love Island?
Yes.
I don't think there should be any barrier to a black person going into Love Island. There's no issue with that. I don't think. Sorry?
But why?
Because I don't think race should necessarily be a barrier to going on the show. I think you should go on, and that shouldn't hold you back. But my issue here is how they're presented, And
so when you talk about how they're presented, right? In this show, for me anyway, from how I see the show, I don't see it as a show just for our background and how we grew up in regards to what London looks like now, in regards to the multiculturalism of London. I see it more as a show for the UK in general. And if we talk about the UK in general and we're talking about black representation, we're a minority. Yeah, whatever 1%, 2%, whatever percentage that you're going to say is what it is. So in regards to that show, you're always going to have, how many contestants are there altogether anyway? About 12, 10?
I'm not
roughly.
Yeah? So something like that. You're always going to get that one black person, right? So if you're going to get that one black person and you are there for love, that means that that black person that's going into that show has to have some sort of, not necessarily a preference, but they have to be attracted to white people.
It's true, I know what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. I get your point.
Okay.
Yeah,
because they've interviewed them already and they know what they want, So they put them forward for that.
Yeah, but if they interview you and you like black girls and there's not many black girls in there,
No,
then what are you really doing in there?
Yeah, you shouldn't.
I get what you're saying. I get, this is what they
common sense stuff.
Yes, they're presenting. But I'm saying I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with that sort of representation.
I don't. Do you know what it is? It's that you don't agree with it, but what they're doing is obviously they're trying to raise that in you so you can watch it even more. It's obviously controversy because it's that they know black people especially ain't gonna agree with the way black people are represented in that show, but they don't care because obviously they're the majority who's made the show, and the majority is gonna be 90% catered to white people. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's the
so
media
if they
as
have the token black person in it, cool. That's the token black person. In real, what Coach is saying, realistically, it's gonna be that one black person in it, and they're not gonna be garnered towards just the black community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is the UK where for them to survive in the UK, they're gonna have to appease two white people, and do you see what I'm saying? They're gonna, especially knowing the going on Love Island, they're gonna have to be attracted to white people.
Well,
if you're there going, if like, let's say now I was to go on, that's why he asked the question: should black people go on it? Because I know me as a black person, I love black women. So if I was
what
to
am
say,
I doing on that show?
Yeah. If I was to say
if
I was to say like
personally,
I only like black women, if the interviewers asked me, what's your type? And I said, black women only. I love black
but
women.
is that your type though?
No.
Because
But
attraction and liking.
That's what I'm saying. No. But
that's an attraction, isn't it? There's people that are beautiful from any background.
Exactly.
Nice, isn't it?
But then even if I'm attracted to others, but I say that I would only date black women. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So if I even said that, they're gonna be like, wait, hold on.
What are you doing here?
You know this that it's gonna be like 80% white women, probably more.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're going to be able to find a match in there?
Yeah.
Because that one black girl we put in
might not actually like you.
Yeah, or a mixed race woman that's going to be put in. She ain't going to like me. What are you going to do? I don't think we should call you up, mate.
And it's not because she doesn't like you because you're black. She doesn't like you because you're not the type of black man that she might even go for.
And it's vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's vice versa. So that's why should black people go on the show? Because that's the things you got to face. So if you are open-minded to white guys or white women, then why not? Then you can go.
But guess what? What you're saying makes sense, right? But the problem with Yewande, yeah? These white boys, they don't like her.
But it doesn't mean that she likes. No, it doesn't mean that she likes white boys. So white boys should like her.
No, she shades she likes white boys.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the white boys should like her.
No, but this is what I'm trying to say.
This
is for me personally. This is what I'm trying to say. She's a black queen. She's beautiful. She's attractive.
So are you saying if the white girls, if
no, for me she's attractive.
I don't think she's that.
Yes, she's been
underappreciated.
So for me, there's no point. Yeah, there's no point for her to be there when she's intelligent.
But again, that's what Kodjo's saying. Like, to be honest, that's risk taking. This is the whole world of dating. Like, just because you're attracted to white guys, like, they shouldn't have to like you back.
But let's even bring it down, Chris. Just on the point that you're saying, let's just bring it down. You're walking down the road, you see this black queen, yeah? And you're thinking, this girl is so attractive, I like it. Yeah. It doesn't mean when you approach this girl, she's going to say yes to you.
Of course.
She have the thing to say yes or no.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at this girl and this girl is saying that she has a preference or whatever, she's more attracted to white men, it doesn't mean that white boys in there or white men in there should equally be attracted to her. Because the laws of attraction doesn't work like that.
That's not what we're talking about.
No. So, because the point that Ali's making is that she's underappreciated, right?
Yeah.
And I made the point as in, if you are, and that's what Chris touched on, if you are a black person or someone from black background or whatever that we want to put it as, and you go on that show, you should know what to expect.
But guess what?
You should know what to expect because you're going on that show. Mostly there's going to be white people on that show. Yeah, so when you go on that show and you're underappreciated, why are you shocked?
But guess what?
Culture,
wait. There's two black people there. You've got Sheriff as well. Sheriff is black. He's a black guy. He's from Manchester. He's from Manchester, right?
He's kicked out from London, bro.
He's from London.
He's from London. He's a Londoner.
Boy, the viewers will tell you where
all right, he's from London.
Where Sheriff is from.
I haven't seen it, but he's been kicked
Yeah, but
out.
him now, he wasn't even attractive to her. He didn't even pick her up. He didn't even do anything.
Yeah, but why does he have to be attracted to her, though?
What I'm trying to... This is what I'm
This is
trying
what I'm
to...
saying. So, because that person is black here, that means I need to be attracted to them.
No,
I
not
don't understand what you're
necessarily.
saying. So
Not
what are you
necessarily.
saying?
Him, yeah, he went for a girl, yeah, she's Greece, right? I think she's from Greek or whatever, right? Or Middle Eastern or whatever. Her name is what?
Yeah, I heard that. He's from London.
He's from London. Yeah. Her name is Hannah or something,
Google,
right?
Mate. Google,
What I'm trying to... Is he still there?
No, he's been kicked out.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, yeah, she's nice, he's nice. Why don't you just connect instead of going out with the other
Yeah,
girl?
but you have to be attracted to the person, though.
What's your point you're trying to make?
No, the point he's trying to make
No,
is that
no.
this sheriff guy, let me just...
No, there is a point.
This sheriff guy is black here.
Yeah.
And the black, he was in there whilst this girl was in there. Yeah. And his point, if I'm right, just correct me if I'm wrong, is that why didn't he hook up with her? I believe that he was not even attracted to her. Is that what you're saying?
He was.
He was attracted to
eventually
her.
he started saying it.
To
Yewande.
To you and it.
Yeah.
But then
Why
you
shouldn't he be attracted to the black girl?
No, why didn't he pick her? Because it's obviously
Why
when he
didn't
first
he?
started. Yeah, there was his first line.
Why didn't he pick the black girl?
Yeah.
But why should he?
Why?
I know.
Wait. But why should he?
Yeah.
He should because out of all of
black.
them.
Wait.
No, that's what you're saying.
I want him to say
Yeah.
that.
No, she's black and she's attractive.
Wait, hold on. So you're in the house now, yeah? This ain't how this shit works, bro. Like, bro, what the fuck?
Well, I'm speaking.
You said.
Let me. That's what I wanted to say because you gotta understand how this sounds.
No
Yeah?
sense.
Let's keep it real here. Yeah, you said I get what you're saying. Even if she is attractive, so you're saying this. You go into the house now, yeah, and there's 10 girls, let's say,
Yeah.
and you're saying that one's alright. That one's pretty.
Yeah.
That one's buff.
Yeah.
That one's super buff.
Yeah.
That one's hot.
Yeah.
That one's hot. That one's hot.
Yeah.
And then it comes to you one day, you be like, she's pretty.
Yeah.
She's attractive.
Yeah.
But you know there's at least 5 of those 10 girls that are better looking than her. You're saying you're just going to pick you one day just because she's black and pretty.
Well,
Even though you're attracted.
well,
more
yeah,
than
but
that.
the reason why I will go for her, first of all, is because she's
Even
the
though
only
she's
black girl
attractive,
there.
he's not
Attracted to her, he's not attracted to her.
That's
Yeah.
what we're
That's
saying.
different.
Simple as that.
That's different.
Plus,
That's
she's
what
not
we're
even
saying.
attracted to black guys anyway.
No, but
So
but that's what. No,
But even with that,
even if she was, it
Yeah,
doesn't really matter.
even if you think she was pretty.
even with that being said, I'm not see my issue. I'm saying like I'm not saying if Sharif picked Anna, who you said she's Greek or whatever, she's a white girl, in my opinion. That doesn't necessarily mean he's not attracted to black girls.
Yes, exactly.
That doesn't mean that. I'm not saying that.
But
It just means he wasn't attracted to you
No,
one
no,
day.
no.
That's that.
What-
that,
what-
that,
what-
that,
let me-
completes the
let me-
equation.
No,
That's the answer to the equation.
Let me get the
It doesn't
point.
necessarily mean that he's not attracted to what's her
Exactly,
name?
Yewande.
Hannah.
Yewande.
It's
just like
It
you're
could
an
mean, as you
husband.
said, the hierarchical
Yeah,
thing of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
you could just
she
not
finds
know.
this girl that he chose more attractive
That's what
than
it
her.
is.
It's
So
not.
it's almost
alright,
like
let
if
me-
this
let
girl
me-
wasn't
let
there,
me-
you
let me-
would have picked it.
let me-
No one
Cool.
knows that.
Cool.
They can't say
That's
that.
what he said.
Cool,
That's what I'm
cool.
saying.
But the bottom,
UK.
but the bottom line is that he is not saying he's not attracted to black girls. We're not saying
it's
that.
not.
No.
It's
That's
not
not
saying
what
that.
we're
This
saying.
is the same
But
thing I'm
then-
saying in regard. Okay, go
It
on.
goes down
Yeah.
to the mix of what Ali's saying though. Because he's not attracted to you one day, that's why it makes sense. No, I ain't gonna lie, that's the best solution with what Ali's saying is. If they're gonna pick 10 girls, there
No, but
should
we
be
can't
5
say
of-
he's not attracted to you.
No,
No.
even if he is, yeah. Even if
We
he's
can say the levels of it. He might be attracted
exactly.
to another
Yeah,
woman more
but
than
what it is if you're gonna have 5 white girls, especially beautiful white girls, it's only fair to have 5 of different races because it's not fair to put one black girl in there
She's gonna
and
look.
she's only one shade.
No, it is
And
fair.
I'll
tell you why.
You're only, no, you're,
After
no,
I'll tell
you're
you why.
only, you're
I'll
only
tell you
saying,
why.
you're only saying, I know why because you're going to say it's representation of
It's
UK.
not even representation.
But
It's
it's-
because that look, I'm doing a show, yeah. So this is it, yeah. I'll flip it on the other side. I'm doing a show, right?
Represent
My
them.
show, I just want black. I want black guys and black women,
That's it,
and
yeah.
black girls or whatever. No.
Yeah.
Then this white guy comes to right, coach. You know what? I really like black women. You know.
Yeah.
I know in this world there are black women that like white guys.
Yeah.
So why would I not put you on the show?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. Yeah. So we're saying that I'm like, okay, that's your preference. If your preference suits what the show is about, then yeah, why not? Go ahead. I'll put you on there. That's up to you. Whatever happens to you thereafter, it's up to you. It's from the entry level. I'm saying this is what the show is about. Yeah, you know that this show is going to have white people in there. There's many white people in there. Right? Anyway, if you're a black guy and you're going in the same thing, there's black guys that will line up and go into a club full of white women. They are going that club specifically full of white women, right? So they're going in there for that. So you can't go in that club and then say, how come there's not an equal representation? Because you know what the club is about. I get you. So why would you do that? It makes no sense.
So you're basically saying it's a show that's tailor-made
but that's a different example.
White people, but we're getting included, like being included into the show, basically.
Yeah, because by that same
I get that point, but the show's designed though. Whereas in a club, you're different. You're there for free will, so it's different. Like, and the makeup can be based on.
You go on the show by free will.
No. You're going on that show by free will, but they're picking who's going to appear on that show. So it's by design to some degree.
They can add,
and that's what we're saying though. It's been designed
by the free will of the contestants.
That's what it is.
It's by design. So literally, this is what I'm going to say. You have a pool of 100 white people. You have a pool of 10 black guys. Or 10 black people, whatever not. And I'm saying that in regards to this pool, I could pick 2 white people and I could pick eight black people to go on that show. However, I pick 9 white people and I pick 1 black person.
Because that's
but the black people that I am picking off is their free will to go on that show. Knowing what the show has been about. Yes, by design, I understand when it comes to selecting who the contestants are. So for me, I find it quite difficult, as we said before. If you do the whole fill in the form thing, and they said, who are you attracted to? And you say, I'm only attracted to black women, or I can only go out with black women. You're not going to go in. For me, as a producer or executive producer, I'm looking at you thinking, I'll put you in this show, and it will be quite disgraceful for you. Because you're not going to get the pool of black women that you're going to be able to pick from. So
you prove my point.
It's by the representation. Okay, so let's say you put this black person in this show now. Everyone that's watching that show will be like, how come he doesn't get picked or he doesn't pick anyone, right? Yeah. Because there could be a black girl in there. And by the understanding, it's like, if there's a black girl in there, why are you not picking that black girl? Because I don't like the black girl. Yeah. Because I like black women. But I don't necessarily like this black girl that's
because there's no options.
Right? No, it's not that because there's no options.
It is. There's not enough options.
You need to understand. Yeah, but then you know what the show's about. I do not understand.
I understand. I get your point. Yeah, I get your point on that.
But that's what you
can look at it from both
sides. Yeah, that's it.
No, but you know what it is. What you're saying is the realistic way of how they do.
Of course, they're realistic.
But obviously, what you're saying is basically how you're just giving a suggestion as what they should do to the show.
That's it.
That's what it is. I think with black people, when they complain about Love Island, they're basically saying what their suggestion should to basically include black people and ethnic minorities more.
Yeah, but I don't think it's fair.
But then
I personally don't feel it's fair for black person to complain like that.
It's true. Because that's no, and that's Kojo's point. No, it's a good point because the thing is, and I get Kojo's point because I know, obviously, being in media, like as in studying it, if I was to create a show, I'm like me personally, I'll create a show to be tailor made towards my people first.
Yes.
So if I'm doing that. And I know, like a white person comes to me and goes, I want to be included in the show. I'm going to lay it out to him like, yeah, cool, you can be included, but this is a black show. You fully do know that.
Yeah.
So you know whatever comes with it, you're going to take that step regardless. So don't even come
if you don't get picked, but if you're looking there, you've been in there for weeks and no one's selecting you. And you don't look attractive and it's coming to the audience as if black people are not attractive.
Cool.
That's
you.
You know what?
So as a creative, I could do what I want to make a show.
Yeah.
But what you lot are doing is, you're doing the typical thing of, let's be inclusive. Yeah. Let's be made inclusive. But instead of doing that, that's why some people, even blacks, say this amongst blacks, is forget being inclusive. Why don't we just create our own platform where we don't even have to deal with this? Where you have to go on Love Island. Yeah, exactly. Make a black one.
No sense.
Where you see us represented in a good way.
Yeah, but then Black Island, there'll be white people on there, innit? Because black people increasingly are attracted to white people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, so that's the point. The thing is, we'll accept them more. But the thing is, it would be best to. The best solution would be, but this is what it is again, a solution offered to the Love Island producers. But the thing is, Why should they care what black people think?
No, but I stand by this point, and I don't think they should. Why should they? Because as a representation of UK, that's what you're seeing on TV.
Yeah, no,
what are you talking about? You're talking about these black people, even a black guy being attracted to a white woman. When they've been in these clubs, how many rejections do they get? It's not like every black white woman that they go to is going to say yes. It's just a law of attraction. It's not like every black woman that you go to is going to say yes. So by nature, people are attracted to their own kind. By nature, I feel more comfortable. That's just by nature. By these, okay. Let me finish my point. So when you have people coming on there and they see that black girl or that black guy and they're not selecting that black girl or that black guy, you should not be shocked. You should not be alarmed. You should not be thinking, oh, these producers are doing whatever. No. What you should do, you know who you should pick up this with? It's with that contestant that's on there to say, what is your reason of being on there, right? What's your reason of being on there? Because whether this girl is a black queen, whatever way you want to say it, that's not how they are seeing her.
Trust me.
But that's where she wants to be.
Trust me.
So this is this black queen. She's got all her own free will. And she's choosing to go on a show that she knows she's going to see more Caucasian male, and that's what she feels comfortable in, and she's going to be in that show. And we're talking about representation. Of course they're going to pick people to suit that agenda. I'm not shocked about it.
And guess what?
It's just shock factor.
Guess what?
It's part and parcel of modern day, what they call these series now. It's just live, what do they call it now?
Live stream?
No, not live stream, but these modern day
reality TV.
Reality TV, modern day. Create a shock factor, create these type of things. But when people talk about Love Island and everything, I don't see. Personally, I just feel like,
for white people.
If I watch it...
That's what I always used to think of that. When I watched it, I used to think, it's the typical English, especially English, go to Marbella.
Yeah.
That's the white people. Like, originally,
go to Ibiza.
Go to Ibiza and all that. And then in those places, you are going to see that the one, if you're talking ratio, the 1 out of 10 mixed race and black guys in a white group. Because that's what it is.
I get everything you're saying. I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with
it.
I don't agree with how black people are presented in that show and the dynamic between them and almost the level of tokenism that's presented in the show. Because it's like, I just don't agree with that. I don't like that.
No. You got right not to like it. But then how do you want black people to be represented in that show?
Just be realistic.
Yeah, because us being realistic, we've said it already. A black man that you're going to ask that question as a producer, and I'll say to you, if your day job is as a producer on that show, and a black man comes and you ask the question, oh, so what's your preference? I say, you know what? I just like only dating black girls. I don't mind attraction. I'm attracted to people, but I only like dating black girls. You told me that black guy, are you going to put that black guy on the show or not? As a woke, quote-unquote, woke black man, would you put that black guy on the show? How do you think you'll pan out for that black man if you put him on the show? This same thing of what you don't like is what's going to be represented on that show. Yeah? Because first of all, not much white women are going to pick this black guy, because that's just how it works. Secondly, in regards to him actually having a pool of women to select from, there's not going to be that large pool of black women for him to select from his own preference. So you, as that executive producer, you told me, what decision are you two going to make for this black man?
Not a lot.
What do you mean not a lot? Would you let him go on the show or would you not let him go on the show?
I wouldn't let him go on the show.
No, I wouldn't let him go.
I wouldn't let him go on the show.
Exactly.
I wouldn't let him go on the show.
What if the question is the other way around? You sit there with the person, so you ask Chris, Chris, what's your preference? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I like white women. I'll go out with white women. I don't mind. I have a variety of things, but I don't mind, whatever. No. Would you put that person on that show?
Yeah.
Yes, it makes sense. Because what the show is about is that you're going to see a lot of Caucasian females. So if that person's preference is for black females, then blood, please. I was like, blood, fam, this ain't for you. Mate, I'm with you. This ain't for you. You need to go somewhere else.
You're just talking from a perspective of a black man. Like, what Kojo's saying is, like, you've got to look at the realism of the actual show. You're talking about the position of almost like a hurt black man. Like, literally. No, because it's like, I don't like to see this represent. And that's what it is. It's like, bro, that's how I feel. And guess how the producers feel? You don't give a fuck about your feelings. Like, literally, that's why they do it every year. It's like, we don't give a... And they're proving that. Yeah. Every year, when they put this one Samara, one day in the show, it's like, you don't give a fuck about you lot's feelings. You're not going to complain next year too. And guess what? You're going to watch it. Guess what? We're going to be the highest grossing reality TV show at the time. Because we don't give a fuck about black people's feelings. And guess what? You lot ain't got the power to do shit about it because you lot ain't gonna do shit about it. So this is why you should do your own show or just watch it and just don't even get too emotional. But if you watch it,
you did your own show. Then it would work.
I will watch it. No, I will. Do your own show or watch it and detach the emotion.
Exactly.
Because that's what I watch.
And just see for reality.
Exactly.
And you know what?
I used to be like that when I first watched it. I'm like, and I didn't buy it. But then after a while, I was like, wait. That person put themselves in. They ain't playing me. They're playing her. She can cry what she wants.
And the problem we have is that, unfortunately, that person is a representation of black people because there's people in the Midlands that might not be that might not interact on a day-to-day basis with them.
They do represent
so unfortunately, that's part and parcel of that. But we can't say it's not. I know the whole is by design. But then we also have to say there's some sort of autonomy on that contestant, that black contestant, to put themselves in that situation. And I feel like, as someone that is free thinking, you're getting in that situation knowing exactly what to expect. This is not the first season.
No.
Trust me.
This is not the first season. So you're not going in there thinking, oh, it's going to be more cultural. You've seen it from the past. So you know what it is.
It's a right show.
That's what brings up
to a school.
I just don't like the tokenism, that's presented on the show.
Well,
and I just don't agree with it.
But then,
and I just don't like, and as I said, like even from the contestant last year, I just didn't like the whole image of that. This is a black woman who's there but pining after all these white men. I just didn't like.
Okay, so do you have an issue? Just moving this forward in regards to that woman last time. Do you have an issue with a black woman having a preference for white guy?
I guess to some degree I do. You might as well say I do. I kind of do because I just didn't like it being shown on TV.
Did that make you feel weaker? Did that make you feel weak as a black man?
No, it's not. I don't think it's weak.
No. There is subliminal thinking to this deal because you have to strip it back, right?
Did it make me feel? No, it didn't make me feel weak as a black man because.
Did it make you feel a certain way?
Did it
make you feel a certain way as a black man?
I'm just angry. I'm just angry.
A certain way as a black man.
I'm just angry.
It does.
Why are you angry?
It does make me feel a certain way. Why are you angry? I can't necessarily describe the emotion. It definitely makes me feel funny.
I'm angry because the way the society is going now is just more white men. Black men with more white women, and the way they're just dominating it now is like as if our black queens are nothing, and there's no respect within the black queens anymore. And when, for example, I see this all the time. I see a black man. I was in IKEA. I see a black man will take a pushchair, will hold a baby in the pushchair, and make it look so important. And when it comes to the black men with a black woman, they will say, okay, they'll take the black woman to be carrying a pushchair, don't do anything, don't hold anything. There's no that rules. There's no, I love my black queen, or I love my, I want to be there for my black queen. I want to make sure my black queen, she's very highly important. I see that quite a lot. It might not be in my community, in my friends and colleagues. It might not be, but black men, when they are dating outside their race, especially a white woman,
you feel like they go out of their way.
I feel like
suddenly become a good man.
Black woman, they can't be a good man. They do the extras. They do the extras. Whereby, for example, I got my missus. I know I'll go that extra mile more than anything else. I'm not saying it's the questions of I'm not racist. That word that we always don't want to use, racist. There's nothing to be about. I'm racist. There's nothing to do with that. I can love my outside my race as well, but my preference or what I want.
You don't believe in interracial?
No, it's not about believing, because the whole topic about Love Island and Yawande is that her go there is her choice. She lives in Ireland because she lives in Ireland, she's going to be dominating more with white people, which is fine. It's fair enough. You're not going to see a lot of multiple black in there. From my side of it, it's not I don't believe it. It's just that I want a black woman to represent me and my household so that when I'm growing up with my children, I can make them understand and educate them. Because what will happen is for me, this is my opinion. I don't know what you guys are thinking. My opinion is when you have two different ways in one, usually that child get confused so much, and they don't know where they want to be. If they're with the white family, they say, oh, they are coconut. When they with a black family, they're not accepted by the white family. So for me personally, it can go deep, and I find them more that they will get deep in life and then get confused, because now the generation more in 10 years time or 20 years time, they're going to be a lot of mixed race kids. Most of them are confused. Most of them don't know where to choose from, who to choose from, and I find that really disturbing. But maybe there might be a hope. I don't know what that hope is.
I don't agree with that.
I
think that's different. That's
he asked you a question. About interracial relationships. Wait. He asked you the question about now. Let me think. He asked you a relationship about interracial relationship.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me think. You said no, but you ended it up with proving that how
you don't
do
it.
because you said you don't mind them dating. But until they have kids.
Don't have no kids.
So as soon as they have mixed race kids, they're going to get confused. So what you're saying is, obviously, generations and generations down the line, everyone's going to be confused. And you know what?
But that's
what
not a fair thing to say.
No, the thing is, what you're saying
on
is,
the parents as well.
this is what it is, and this obviously can be a whole another topic, but it almost goes back to like what a lot of white people say with race mixing. That's basically what you're saying. Yeah. You're doing what white people say with race mixing. I don't want my white people to bring a black person home because they're going to be confused down the line. We're not going to have any white great grandchildren and all of that. Which is, do you know what? I get it. Like, look, I get it. Like, some people do feel like that, and it's, do you know what it is? I think you're not meaning it in a ill way. You're just saying it as preservance of, like, obviously the black culture. That you want to have that, but obviously you don't have to be that deep. Like, obviously, each to their own. Do you get what I mean? It's like, for me, each to their own. But going back to what Kojo asked, what was it, Cam, about the whole what was it?
Do you like it? Or?
What was it? What was the question? You said
I think
just
what
before.
I asked Cam, I think from the conversation I was having with Cam was more to do with
how do you feel about it?
when you saw that?
Do you feel? Sorry,
Did you feel
weak?
as a black man?
Yeah,
forget the weak.
I use the wrong word because I wanted to. I wanted to.
That you feel in that way. I'll let you.
Go on. Yeah, I wanted to add to that. That, like, for me, naturally, you would feel a way. For me personally, anyway, when a black girl says that she only particularly is attracted to white men or a particular race that's outside her race. But I feel like that in general about anyone. I feel like any race who doesn't find their race attractive is weird.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like, forget just black people. That's a good point. I feel like if a white woman says, like, for me, obviously you get that white girls that will go, I only love black men.
Yeah, but people don't say anything about that.
No. But I don't. No. There's some. No. A lot of black men. No. Exactly. A lot of black men don't because. No. A lot of.
We're not in the kind of situations that we find ourselves in.
Listen.
How the answer different.
No. Listen. When girls talk like that. When girls talk like that. No. Trust me. When girls talk like that to me, I don't find that attractive because for me, it sounds like you're picking me like you're walking through East Street Market saying, like, I only like that type of meat. Do you get what I'm saying? I only want that type of meat. I don't want... Like,
because you tasted that meat and you like that meat.
No, but you only...
that no, meat, but you transcends any other meat that you've had.
No, it's weird. It's weird that you don't like...
Just the taste.
Yeah, obviously, it's not even... Obviously, yeah, we're using the analogy. No, but...
No, wait. Let come say that point before you go. Come again. What did you say?
I was saying it's much more that runs deeper than the taste of the meat.
I know what you're trying to.
Yeah, because obviously it's the stereotype. Yeah, it's the stereotype. Obviously, it's because I use the analogy.
The attraction stereotype fits into the whole point of attraction. Some whatever black men or other race might be attracted to black men because apparently it's believed that a black man is meant to have a bit dick.
Yeah.
Can I sit down this show?
Yeah, but but that's what it is.
No. But that's something that works for black men in regards to the whole attraction. Wait. Let me just say this stereotype.
I want to use something to add some context to it.
Let me just finish this, right? And I feel, in regards to black men, when it suits us, it's fine. when it's working in our favor, and there
I disagree.
There's the whole tokenism. There are black men that have gone out there. This white girl was spinning all this. Oh, I'm proper into thing. Yeah. In the back of your mind, you're thinking
they know anything about our culture, and they think they can.
Yeah, that's fine. They think they know anything about our culture, and they'll give you all this spin that only like black men. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, "Oh, this girl might be fucked up here." But right now, I just want to beat, right? And that's the overriding factor. So you could give me all this spin about,
I get what Kodjo's saying.
this, yeah, the black, they only like one meat in the thing. But bruv, you right then.
You're using that for your advantage.
You're using that to your advantage.
You're letting you're riding the stereotype with,
that you're riding to your advantage. But then when you finish, and then you become this whole, because you know after you nut, then it's always like you're enlightened, then it's so like, oh, you think again, yeah. And you become this whole man. You're thinking, oh yeah, this white girl is fucked up, man.
But it's not about the white girls.
But no.
Guys do that about girls.
No. I'm generalizing. Yeah, I said that. So what I'm saying is, unless, because I feel that black men pander to this stereotype when it suits them. Personally, I feel like that. I feel like when it's working for you and you're getting that attraction and you're getting that there, cool. But the minute that you are woke or so you bust a nut, all of a sudden you want to be talking about, why are they talking about me personally? That's how I feel. Because I feel like a lot of black men ride that.
That's guys that are attracted to white girls.
Yeah, I can't speak on that.
That's generally guys that if a guy's not attracted to white women, he ain't gonna have that talk.
Exactly.
Yeah, but what's attracted to white women?
No, like you know, if he generally he don't feel white girls like that, he's
gonna shut that girl down.
Yeah, he's gonna be a shut.
He ain't gonna have none of that.
It's almost saying, I say a lot of black men are attracted to white.
Whichever. Yeah. No, they are not. No. A lot of black men are attracted to girls. No. That's the thing. That's the thing. What I was going to say is,
a lot of black men are attracted to women.
To women,
regardless of what.
No. Go back to your question.
No.
I'll be political correct.
No, you don't have to be political.
No, because that's what you guys want me to
say.
No,
you can't generalize. You can't generalize.
You tried it.
No.
Oh my God.
Say it. No, a lot of black men.
I'll drill down.
No, it is.
You guys feel off it. That's how you guys are acting.
No.
That's funny.
No. It don't matter. She's white, Arab, Asian.
Okay.
It don't matter.
Okay.
A lot of black men love white women.
Okay. So a lot of black men are attracted to all sorts of women. From any background.
That's what.
As long as there's attraction and she's sexy.
Say why. Just a lot of black men love white women. That's what it is.
Of course they do.
It's general. It's the media.
Generational effect to you, man. This whole thing that we said about King Kong and this white women being preserved and whatever not. Yeah, there's a lot of black men that go with that agenda. For me personally, that's what it is. If I'm not being right and it's only, but if that view is shared by a few, then great. I'm not disputing that. It's just from my point of view, right?
What do you say?
That's the reason why we call this perspective.
We are
black men though.
I can't say necessarily that it's an ignorant black man in a sense that...
What? For what reason?
That the ones that ride the wave. No, not even just
so
the white
women.
women.
Are you saying that any black man that's attracted to any woman outside of...
No. The ones that consciously know, all right, this woman's been saying certain things that tries to push the stereotype of a black man. Like she'll be like if a white woman comes to them and be like, okay, I love niggas. I just love the whole roughness about them, and she starts throwing out certain stereotypes that are negative. Where it's like, I just have a bad black boy. I just love them because they just got big dicks and all that.
And at that point, what should that black man do?
No. So again, it's a black man that's attracted to a white girl who knows. Yeah, if he's in, he could be trying to play the long game. So he could be like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna allow her to say this because I'll beat and I'll cut anyway. But at the same time, I've got to look at it as this. You are you gotta say it, like you are moving a bit ignorant, like you're moving bro, you're allowing her to talk a certain way. It's just like saying with the whole, if you was at work, are you gonna allow your boss to talk a certain way to you just because you want to get a paycheck? Are you gonna let your white boss say certain black jokes just because you're trying to get a paycheck? Because that's really what it is. So you are moving a bit of a sellout way. Because you don't need her to tell you that. Now she could still be onto you without talking like that. She could have that whole I'm onto black guys and all of that. Cool. But let it just be a mutual attraction where I find you sexy, you find me sexy. But the moment she starts talking this whole bet you got a big dick in
And the problem is when that person does not correct that, they don't correct that decision because at that point they've got tunnel vision.
Yeah, they just want to get the pussy.
They finish beating and all of a sudden they're thinking, no, it's you. Because when they were using all these and they saw that's an attraction for you, you didn't correct it at that time. But then you want to beat and then you want to be...
No, come on. Guys. Chris,
let's not do that.
Back to your question. When a white girl says a kind of comment, in general, are they not all like that?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
White girls.
What you just saying in regards to attraction from white women
they
to
believe
black?
They
don't just believe. Is that not the stereotype that makes them attracted to us?
Most white girls.
I'm just saying in general. And they're all not like that.
To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I can only.
I can't personally say.
I don't know. Me personally, I don't really talk to date white girls that. But the white girls that I've come across, they just like you see with this whole I don't see race and all of that.
Yeah. Which
that's
is bullshit.
BS. They will slip something into it, whether it's connotations or if they. I've noticed when they don't want to offend, they try to not do the stereotypes, but they'll do connotations instead of a black man.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it'll be that it's not the stereotype, but they'll just do that. It's just connotations of like let's say they might do like use words like rough.
Yeah.
Like they might say I like a bit of a bad boy.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So that's not necessarily a stereotype, because you know what I mean? A stereotype.
I know what you mean.
You get what I'm saying? It's straight,
look, there's the
you don't look
invisible
after your
lines,
children.
There's the stuff that's not being said.
That's it. But what they were trying to say is that white guys is basically, the good, straight and narrow, but they want a bit of rough. They want a bit of, you can put me in my place. I want to, or they'll try and use, I want a man's man.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait, what do you mean by a man's man? Because you could get that from a white man. Do you get what I'm saying? But what they're basically saying is, I want someone to keep me on my toes and all of that. It's like, you're just trying to just connotate.
I think
what the stereotypes are.
I think what I would like to say though, I think just bringing it back to the conversation we had about this specific girl that was in Love Island, and regarding attraction, I think one thing we have to accept though is that a white man or a black man liking a white woman or a white man liking a black man, sometimes it's not just down to the level of race. Sometimes it's through experience. Sometimes it's through a moment that they've shared. Yeah, and I guess I'm coming with all this philosophical whatever not. But yes, we understand that race is an overriding factor. However, there are relationships that people have had with other races that has transcended all these race barrier type of thing, right? Whereby you might know, I don't know, for instance, you could be at work, right? Yeah. And you could have this idea of white girls or whatever not. But you might know this white girl, that's actually quite cool.
That's the thing.
This white girl that's down to earth, this white girl that's whatever not, and you didn't. And you could actually meet a white girl that actually knows more about the black culture and the barrier and all these things about what black men or black women might have. Yeah. So you'll be able to share some stuff with them, and through that develops, right? Yeah. So we can't necessarily say that when you see those two walking down the road, it's just to do with this person first is attracted to this person.
No, and I agree with that. I'm not saying it's based on. It shouldn't be based on stereotypes.
It's not necessarily, but I understand what Ali is saying. I guess regarding like he used this example of B&Q and but I don't know. Was that a personal thing that you saw of a black men not really pushing a pushchair or something? But if it's a white woman, I guess that's interesting because that's almost saying that. In regards to black men that marry outside their race, it's almost there's this perception
they uphold a different standard.
Because of the stereotypical view of a black man. It's almost like you want to shade that. You don't want that to be part of your relationship because you know that's there already. And this is the whole point that we spoke about, even this whole James Bond, whatever not, yeah? We know that's all out there already about a stereotypical view of a black man is not supportive to the woman, whatever not. So when they date outside their race, they feel like that has to be more prominent. That has to be more seen to be like, I'm just not this typical black man. I guess that could be part of it, of what they're thinking. True. I will not be able to talk about it personally.
For black women, from what I see online, a lot of black women, that's what a lot of them complain about is they do switch up on black, and that's why I feel a lot of black women feel underappreciated. Yeah. Like I feel like a lot of black women complain that it's like, wait, hold on, black women they will actually go through the trenches with you, especially through the stages of when black men are trying to find themselves, that the whole younger bad boy hood type. Do you get what I'm saying? Age group that. They'll go through like...
but that's just a view of one black man.
No. But like, obviously, if we're talking about the black people...
They don't all come from the hood,
that's what I'm about to say. If we're
as
talking
you said
about
last
black,
time, some of them are princes and that. They were young, man.
But if we're talking about... let's say if we're talking about...
I guess
general
India,
black
regarding
men...
from where we're
black men, from ends. Yeah,
from where we're from.
Yeah. Let's say
so
working class.
Context,
working class black men. We'll say like... That's what I've seen with the working class black women as well. They'll say it's like, all right, they go through the trenches with you. You do well. And obviously that whole stereotype of... Once you get successful, or even with like the footballers or like sports, you know what I mean, sports guys or musicians. So it's that once that happens, once you make it, it's that now you're looking for a white woman from a completely different class to you. She's not working class. You want her to be middle class or upper class. Yeah. And then when you do that, you completely step your level up again. Where it's like you're stepping your level, you completely change your level. Where it's like, wait, hold on, where was all that energy for the black woman who's read out for you for the last 10, 20 years? Like, you didn't do that.
That's what's been happening.
For the black woman who actually held you down at your lowest. But as soon as you've got money now, all that positive energy you start, where did that come from? You was arguing with her, you was putting her down, you was doing all these things while you was in the trenches. But then as soon as you got money and life's good, you pick up a white woman. And it's not even necessarily that, because obviously sometimes it's not even necessarily guys that got money and then pick up a white woman. It could be, you just could still be in the same place, but when you do pick up a white woman, you try to not show any of that behavioural pattern that you show with a black woman.
I think that's
it's like now it's like you're more prissy. You're more like
you're more watch what you say.
You get what I'm saying. Like you've watered down yourself basically to be with a white woman, or
to fit in.
Yeah, you might just want to make her feel a bit easier around you. Do you get what I'm saying? And then because obviously you're going to be meeting her friends and family as well. You're gonna have to start
and then they have all these stereotypes, so you have to kind of like
you have to fit into a world.
Water it down.
You have to water down. Especially if you're from a certain background.
But I only say that's for people that don't know themselves. I feel like this is why I say identity is very important, because for me, once you know yourself and you fully know who you are, then being in these type of environments is not that challenging, in a sense that yes, you are black, yes, I love Kenke, yes, I'm from Ghana, yes, my name, this is what it means, and I know you're going to. It's not a big deal, innit? And you'll be able to talk. And trust me, people appreciate that, their identity. People that know about themselves, everyone appreciates that. People that are not trying to fit into this whole thing about you being yourself and representing what you look like, people appreciate that. Guess what? But I guess I just want to go back to this conversation, because we started off from Love Island, right? Yeah. And then we started off from the whole conversation around a black woman that's in there, and it's like we see them as a black queen, and they're representing what we see in a black woman, and they're not getting that love from that Caucasian male, but that's the love that they're yearning for. And then going back to last season, we have this black woman in there, and what's her background again?
All I can say is I know she's from London.
And she has more of a preference for things. And I guess that's the question, and you ask again, right? Why do black men feel a certain way towards this? I personally feel like, as I said,
I think you would like. That's what I'm saying. Naturally, you would like. If she.
But is it if it was a black? So have black guys been on this show?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And
okay. So do we have any? Because it seems like these examples that we've given. Wait. Yeah. No. But the examples that we've given. Oh, so are we saying that we're talking about these examples? Wait. This is where it gets interesting. Are we saying we're talking about these examples because we're men, we're black men?
Yeah, like say for a black woman.
So we don't have an issue with we haven't had any issues with the black men that have gone on the show in the past.
Yeah,
I do as well. I have an issue as well.
No, but I do. If you're saying that,
I can't speak on that because I haven't watched the show.
If you're saying that,
back as that, I watched bits of it last year, and I've pretty much going.
So you haven't watched a show where there's been a black man on there?
I have.
Well, this year was the first time, and the black guy got kicked out.
Yeah,
they usually no. I get what you're saying. The shoe's been on the other foot where black men are going.
No, because I feel like we're talking about it. Yeah, but we're talking about black women being in there and how we feel about it. How do we feel about black men being in that show?
Well, can I also... Hold on. The black men, they haven't allowed the black men to, first of all, dominate the show as long. No. But the question was, how do you feel about the black men? Yeah. Likewise, the black woman. The black woman, I understand how I feel. The black men, they haven't allowed the black men to stay for that long so that the black men can be having all these options and know what they want.
What options?
No, Ali.
When you say all these options, I don't understand.
No, he's saying in general.
No,
I'm talking about in general.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about in general Love Island. Because I'm talking about from a perspective.
I can't speak.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so let's bring it back down to this year then, because this year there's been a black woman.
That's what I'm trying to say. If you're talking
at the moment,
So let's just talk about this year, right?
Yeah.
If you have an issue with that black woman, do you have any issue with black men being on that show, or how black men are represented?
And this is what I'm trying to say. Last year, everything you're saying, that was the case. It was the black men that were more dominant.
Yeah.
It weren't like, it's not it was mixed race.
But when you say dominant, what do you mean dominant?
He said dominant, like as in, like I think he was going to go on to that. Obviously, the black guy got kicked out already in this one. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, but when you say dominant,
so like they're the men in the show, like they're basically the alpha males.
They're the alpha males. That's what you mean by dominant.
Yeah, like
so you have an issue with the black man not being the alpha male in the show.
Like basically, you're saying that they're getting shown.
Why should they be the alpha male in the show?
Well, they're the only least person in there.
So because they're least represented in the show, they should be the alpha male.
Well,
he's saying that they're just shown in I think like just weak and just you know what I mean? Like they just cast away, and people have said that, like, you know, because it's been like that for the women. It's usually the women that are just. Do you get what I mean? It's that one, like last year and this year. Clearly, the black girls ain't getting the looking. Oh yeah. But the thing is, let's look at it in society's terms. Black men, I've always said this anyway, well before Love Island, black women are the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, it's true.
But black men are the highest of the totem pole when it comes to straight sexual attraction.
Yeah.
Not in attraction in life, because if you're looking at for longevity, a black man probably wouldn't be the best. In longevity. To any woman.
Longevity?
No, like they're not like
that's the best person to be with. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think no.
There's a reason why behind that. There's a lot of reason. The society.
Listen, I'm saying what society's view, not what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
What society's viewing it.
You guys have to give it that context.
No, I always give it what society's viewing it. They put it as black men sexually are the most obviously attractive.
Yeah.
Black women aren't. They're the bottom of the totem pole. So in the show, that's how it's represented. So like I said, last year, they had like a mixed race guy, two mixed race guys, or one black guy and one mixed race guy. Yeah. They were the men in the show. Like they did their thing. They were moving comfortable. They were the alpha males.
They was there for long as well.
Like they were with even the dominant white males. They were close with them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So they had their own clique. To the point, even there was a white guy called Jack there. When he's come out, they've given him a nickname of Oluwa Jack. Do you understand that?
Yeah, because the one that won it, right?
No, he didn't. I don't think he. Actually, I don't think. No, I don't think he won it.
There was a
he
Jack
came close. No. But he came. Well, towards the end, didn't it? So, but all I know is Jack became like a black guy, like accepted into the black community. So, with that said, with the black women, it's a whole different ball game. When they go in it, no looking.
They're the least.
They're just like no looking. But I keep that same energy of it's weird regardless. If you're a white man and you're saying you just like black girls, imagine I'm just thinking fetish. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's a straight fetish. Yeah. Like, why are you just liking black girls? Like you don't like white women. Like that tells me that there's something.
There's something. You just got confused. You said, why are you liking black girls? You don't like white women.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if a white man said that, if a white man said he just likes black girls and he don't like white women, that's weird to me. Yeah. If a white girl says she just likes black men, but she don't like white women, I always ask girls questions like that. Why do you only like black men? The first when they say to me they only like black men, I go, why? And some of them try and lie.
Is this white woman?
Yeah, white women. They will lie. They will try because they think what they think is they think that I'm trying to trick them to saying the whole big dick thing. Do you get what I'm saying? They think that because some of them will be like, oh, I'm not going to try. Are you
subliminally trying to trick them?
No, I'm tricking them into letting them know how ridiculous they sound when they say that. That's all it is. Because I want you to tell me something where it seems genuine why you like a black man. Because for me, the things that you like a black man for, you should be able to find in a white man. Because that tells me you only like black man for the connotations and the stereotypes, not because of they're caring people. Because some of them will try and say that. They'll be like, they're more attentive to the women, a.k.a. we fuck better in the bed. That's what they're really trying to, because they go on and say that.
No, deep.
I've heard white girls go on and say they're more attentive, and when I say more attentive, I mean they made me feel more appreciated, more sexy, this and that, because they appreciate my curve. This is what they start talking after. Do you get what I'm saying? So that tells me, it's back to stereotypes. So the genuineness of it. It's just like Love Island. These people, they're only going in it, I think, to help their ego and things like that. Like,
I'll just go back to the point that I made earlier, innit? I just feel like black men almost like you want your cake, you want to have your cake and eat it, where we control their conversation. And it's almost like I find it interesting that you say that for a black representation, that black person has to dominate the show. And if they don't dominate the show, you do not like it. And I feel like, what do you mean? I don't really understand that in that context, because it's almost as if we talk about this alpha male and we talk about stereotypical view of the black man, but yet this is how you want them to be shown on this show in order for you to feel like we are not being seen in a bad light. And I don't understand where the parallels of that is coming from, right? But I just feel black men are in the position, as she said, black women are at the bottom of the totem pole. And I feel like genuinely black men feel uncomfortable when they see a black woman that is attracted to a white man. I personally feel like that. Whether you guys agree with me or not, whatever not.
No,
and
no.
I feel that because people are used to be seeing a black man being attracted to a white woman, that's not so much of a problem when you see it being played out on TV. Yeah, when you see it being played out on TV, because as I said, a lot of you guys have been out. These things have been played out by friends, by people that you've seen it being played out. So it's not so much of an issue, but I feel like black men in general will feel an issue when it's switched around with a woman being in there that has more of an attraction. And this is what we're saying here. These women might not necessarily... I know there was this example that you said where the girl actually said that specifically they only like white men or whatever. No. Yeah. But these women that go on there do not necessarily mean they only like white men. These women could be that they are attracted to white men, but it doesn't mean that they're not attracted to black men.
That's true.
Right? Yeah. It's the same way that you go into a club knowing that it's a white club, and is that day your preference is for a white girl or whatever that is going on in your head at that time. But it doesn't necessarily mean that this black guy that I see in this white club does not like black girls. So this is why I just feel that these conversations, and just to bring it up in regards to just wrapping up, I feel like a black person, if we're going to talk about it this way, then it goes about kind of black person being Love Island. And I feel like, for me personally, I don't think black people should go on Love Island. The reason why I'll say is because what the show is about. The reason why I say that is because of the representation of the show. And the reason why I say this, whether you are attracted to white men or white women, it doesn't necessarily mean that attraction is going to be reciprocal. So it's always going to make you look out like the person, black people are least attractive because the women and the men are coming in there and they're not picking you. You're in there for so long and they kick you out. So I don't necessarily feel it's a show that black people should go on, because I don't feel it will put a black person in a good light.
I mean, I think for me, and I'm going to go back to the earlier point I said, which is that a black person should go on Love Island because there shouldn't be any barriers. But, I mean, thinking about it now, I just don't necessarily agree with the representation of black people on that show. So for me, I'm going to have to go back onto that point and say, no, I don't necessarily think a black person should go onto Love Island, because I don't think they're presented in a positive light. I think for them and for me, it's almost like they're trying to sort of become included within. And you know what? I think most black people that do go on that show, and I can only speak from last year, I just feel like it's almost perpetuating the image of being a coconut. You know, you're like, you know, a black person from a particular culture, but you know, you're into.
It's showing a narrow view of one black person's journey. It's very narrow. Yeah.
You're into, you know, a certain culture. You want to be included without that culture. You're yearning to be included into that culture. And I just don't agree with that. I don't like it. I don't like seeing it on TV. Yeah. I don't agree with it. So that's how I feel.
Well, this whole Love Island, you one day, sheriff or whatever. My understanding of this is that, as we were talking about this topic, is if there is going to be a black woman going into the show, I expect maybe at least 2% of more black women going in there and trying to.
What's 2%? If there's 10 people, 2% well, is one black person.
No, but a mixed race is still a dominate.
10% will be replaced what you see now.
What I'm just saying is just like at least an equal. I understand it's a UK show. I understand that they're going to be more representative of white girls. I understand that, but at least make it equal so there'll be more options, and the same vice versa for the black side of it as well, which has been. I think it just needs to be equal, and so everyone within the spectrum can be appreciated, and let the show continue and make it look lively. That's what I believe, and so for me personally, the black girls are, as what Chris has said, they're not dominating enough. They're very low, but yet these white girls want to have the same figure as the black girls, want to have this, want to have that. Well, I just think basically they should, at least Love Island should consider it and make it more interested, and maybe there will be more talking towards it.
Okay. Until next time, that's the Perspective Podcast.